When my granddaughter Amanda Phillips looked me directly in the eye at Sunday brunch and said, "Grandma Rose, I need you to promise you won't embarrass us at my wedding. Maybe it's better if you just stay home and watch the live stream like the other elderly relatives who can't handle formal events." She had no idea she was dismissing Rose Catherine Whitmore, the anonymous benefactor behind Whitmore Legacy Foundation, a $200,000 charitable trust that had been quietly funding her $150,000 dream wedding at the Ritz-Carlton Laguna Niguel, her fiancé's Stanford MBA program, her parents' mortgage on their Newport Coast mansion, and whose discreet financial coordination had enabled 3 generations of her family's luxury lifestyle, all while she dismissed me as an aging grandmother whose old-fashioned social skills and outdated fashion sense might create awkward moments during such an important celebration, never knowing that her cruel dismissal would trigger the most expensive lesson about respect and family values that any ungrateful bride had ever received. When the embarrassing elderly relative she banned from her own wedding turned out to control every dollar of the thousand celebration that would proceed without a single member of the family who had spent decades taking my generosity for granted. Make sure to hit that like button if you've ever been dismissed by family who thought they were better than you. Drop a comment about your worst experience with ungrateful relatives who forgot where their blessings came from. And subscribe, because you won't believe what happens when entitled family members discover that the outdated grandmother they excluded from their special day actually owned every detail of their perfect wedding celebration. The modest 2-bedroom condominium in Laguna Woods, where I've lived for the past 8 years, appears to visiting family members as exactly what you'd expect from a retired elementary school principal who depends on Social Security and modest pension benefits to cover basic living expenses, like community association fees, prescription medications, and the monthly housekeeping service that my daughter Patricia reluctantly helps coordinate while constantly reminding me that elderly care becomes more expensive every year, and families have to make difficult decisions about supporting aging relatives who didn't save adequately for their retirement years. Modest 2-bedroom condominium in Laguna Woods, where I've lived for the past 8 years, appears to visiting family members as exactly what you'd expect from a retired elementary school principal who depends on Social Security and modest pension benefits to cover basic living expenses, community association fees, prescription medications, and the monthly housekeeping service that my daughter Patricia reluctantly helps coordinate while constantly reminding me that elderly care becomes more expensive every year, and families have to make difficult decisions about supporting aged relatives who didn't save adequately for their retirement years. My daily routine, as observed by my children during their increasingly brief and dutiful monthly visit, perfectly reinforces every assumption about limited resources and social isolation that prevents elderly people from understanding modern wedding planning and contemporary celebration expectations. They see me participating in senior center activities each Tuesday and Thursday morning, organizing my prescription medications in weekly pill container, and carefully budgeting grocery shopping trips around senior citizen discount days and promotional sales that suggest someone whose financial decisions revolve around saving $12 on generic vitamins and markdown produce from the local pavilions, supermarket. The 2017 Honda CR-V that I drive, with its practical silver exterior and spotless interior maintained through regular detailing at the Laguna Woods car wash, reinforces Patricia and Amanda's comfortable assumption that I'm living on fixed income margins while depending on family assistance for major expenses like automotive maintenance, medical copayments, and the emergency situations that exceed my supposed limited budget and technological understanding of modern financial planning and investment management strategy. What my children see during their obligatory visits is exactly what I've carefully cultivated since my husband Walter's death 12 years ago: a sweet but slightly overwhelmed elderly woman who struggles with smartphones and social media, needs help understanding insurance paperwork that grows more complicated every year, and whose greatest social activities involve volunteering at the Laguna Woods libraries, literacy program and hosting bridge games with other retired educators who share stories about the good old days. Families stayed together and young people showed proper respect for their elders and family traditions. The image of gentle Grandma Rose with her comfortable Nordstrom cardigan sweaters and sensible walking shoes from Clara has served me perfectly in maintaining privacy while protecting the philanthropic empire that Patricia and Amanda have never suspected determines their mortgage payments, educational opportunity, and ability to maintain the upper-middle-class Orange County lifestyle that they assume reflects their own professional success and financial management skills, rather than systematic assistance from charitable foundations they've never imagined or acknowledged. The Laguna Woods condominium that Patricia dismisses as adequate housing for an elderly woman who needs simple accommodations and community support services actually serves as my private command center for operations that extend far beyond retirement activities and senior community involvement. The modest living room with its cheerful displays of family photographs, Amanda's UC Irvine graduation, Patricia's real estate license celebration, my late husband Walter's military service commendations, conceals sophisticated charitable coordination systems where I manage endowment portfolios worth $200, oversee grant distributions across 12 Orange County nonprofits, and direct the wealth management networks that have made me one of Southern California's most influential but invisible philanthropic leaders. The family photographs themselves tell a carefully curated story of a grandmother whose greatest pride comes from her successful family members who've made something of themselves in the modern world despite their humble beginnings as the children and grandchildren of an elementary school principal and a municipal parks department supervisor. Amanda's business degree from UC Irvine hangs in a silver frame next to Patricia's real estate achievements and professional recognition awards, all positioned where visitors can see them immediately upon entering my living room. These displays reinforce the narrative that I'm an elderly relative whose vicarious pride in family accomplishment represents the closest she'll ever come to understanding the business and financial worlds that her educated family members navigate with such impressive expertise and professional sophistication. What Patricia and Amanda have never suspected, the modest lifestyle and occasional requests for assistance with technology aren't because I'm incapable of understanding modern financial markets and charitable foundation management. I created most of the systems that fund their comfortable lifestyle and protect their financial security. Sophisticated wealth management infrastructure, hidden throughout my senior living condominium, represents 42 years of systematic philanthropic development, designed to maintain complete operational effectiveness while protecting my privacy and enabling the kind of long-term strategic giving that requires absolute separation between my public identity as a retired educator and my professional role as founder and principal director of one of California's most sophisticated family charitable support organizations. Behind the false panel in my bedroom walk-in closet, accessible through a biometric scanner disguised as Walter's old jewelry armoire, a wooden case he built in 1987 for our 35th wedding anniversary, lies a command center with enterprise-grade technology that rivals what major family foundations use for their most sophisticated wealth management and beneficial oversight operations. The multiple monitor displays show real-time data streams from investment markets throughout North America and international exchanges, including portfolio performance analytics, grant recipient impact assessment, and family character evaluation indicators that determine which relatives receive continued financial support and which face systematic reduction or elimination of charitable foundation benefits. The quantum encrypted communication systems that connect me to investment advisors, estate planning attorneys, and foundation coordinators throughout Orange County operate on secure networks that institutional philanthropy organizations use for high net worth family coordination and generational wealth transfer planning. The investment analysis algorithms that process over 50 daily market transactions, while identifying portfolio optimization opportunities, risk management strategies, and charitable giving effectiveness, provide the Whitmore Legacy Foundation with competitive advantages worth millions of dollars in strategic decision-making and impact maximization that enables consistent endowment growth while maintaining the financial resources necessary to support multiple charitable initiatives across decades of community development and family assistance programs. But perhaps the most sophisticated aspect of my hidden philanthropic operations is the family character assessment system that evaluates how beneficiaries treat elderly relatives, demonstrate family loyalty, and contribute to intergenerational family stability as primary indicators of their continued eligibility for foundation distributions and inheritance consideration, which I personally designed after observing how traditional estate planning focused only on bloodline relationships and legal obligations, while ignoring character traits that determine family cohesion and generational continuity, analyzes family interaction patterns, elderly respect decision, and crisis response indicators to create comprehensive character profiles that determine which relatives deserve continued financial support and which have demonstrated moral failures that justify benefit reduction or complete financial independence. The Whitmore Legacy Foundation operates as a vertically integrated wealth management and family support organization that controls every aspect of beneficiary assistance, from initial need assessment and financial planning through ongoing support coordination, to long-term character monitoring and inheritance planning that ensures generational wealth transfers only to family members who demonstrate values worthy of financial stewardship and family leadership across economic transitions and social changes that preserve both individual dignity and collective family wealth. Our foundation structure, carefully designed to maintain both operational security and legal compliance across multiple California jurisdictions, includes 23 subsidiary accounts that provide specialized services to family members, educational institutions, religious organizations, community development initiatives throughout Orange County and extending into Los Angeles County and Riverside County communities where family members have established careers and raised their children with support from systems they've never suspected existed beneath their grandmother's humble retirement lifestyle, and community volunteer activities. The primary investment division of our foundation operations houses the portfolio management and market analysis infrastructure that has generated consistent returns exceeding 11.7% annually for 42 consecutive years, building wealth through strategic stock selection, real estate investment, municipal bond participation, and international market diversification, that enabled a starting endowment of $68,000 in 1982 to grow into the $28 million portfolio that currently provides financial security and opportunity for 3 family branches while maintaining sufficient reserve capital to weather economic downturns and support emergency needs across multiple generations of beneficiaries and community partners. The diversified investment strategy that guides all Whitmore Legacy Foundation portfolio decisions incorporates environmental responsibility, social impact assessment, corporate governance evaluation that protects long-term value while generating income streams sufficient to support family member needs, including mortgage assistance, educational funding, wedding celebration coordination, and the specialized financial planning that helps working families achieve economic stability and generational wealth building that enables children and grandchildren to pursue educational and professional opportunities that might otherwise remain beyond their financial reach, while maintaining character development and family values worthy of continued foundation support. The Family Support Division of our foundation operations provides comprehensive assistance coordination for all approved beneficiaries, including emergency financial coverage, educational scholarship administration, major life event funding, and the specialized character monitoring that maintains family standards, while building financial literacy and values education that enable beneficiaries to contribute to family prosperity while maintaining the moral foundation necessary for sustainable financial relationships and intergenerational foundation stewardship that honors both individual achievement and collective family welfare across economic transitions and social changes. The beneficiary services that our foundation provides include financial planning consultation, educational guidance, estate planning coordination, and character development support that helps family members navigate life transitions, while building integrity and demonstrating loyalty that qualifies them for continued foundation benefits and potential inheritance consideration. The programming that we offer through partnerships with financial advisors, family counselors, and educational institutions provides beneficiaries with knowledge and skills that enable sustainable prosperity while maintaining family connections and elderly respect that preserves foundation eligibility and inheritance potential across generations of family development and community contribution. But the most strategically important aspect of our operations is the character assessment and behavior monitoring network that tracks family member interactions, elderly respect decisions, and values demonstration patterns to identify relatives whose character and actions align with foundation principles, versus those whose moral deterioration threatens their continued eligibility for financial support and inheritance consideration. Coordinated through discreet observation and family interaction analysis, provides early warning indicators of character failures while offering intervention opportunities that address moral challenges before they require more severe consequences that might disrupt family harmony and financial security while maintaining foundation integrity and mission focus. Wedding planning coordination that would expose the devastating gap between my family's assumptions about my limited resources and the reality of my hidden philanthropic authority began 6 months ago when Amanda announced her engagement to Trevor Hamilton during our monthly family brunch at the Island Hotel in Newport Beach, triggering the kind of celebration planning that reveals character, family priorities, and the difference between people who honor their obligations during major life events versus those who view elderly relatives as potential embarrassments, whose presence might interfere with their social positioning, and contemporary wedding expectations that prioritize image management over family unity and intergenerational respect. The engagement announcement that would initiate the most comprehensive character assessment any family member had ever undergone occurred on Sunday, September 17, 2023 during our monthly family brunch at the Island Hotel in Newport Beach, a tradition that I had established 3 years earlier as a way to maintain regular family contact while providing structured opportunities for character observation and relationship monitoring that enabled ongoing evaluation of family loyalty, elderly respect, and the values demonstration that determined continued foundation support and inheritance eligibility across multiple generations of beneficiaries and community partners. The Island Hotel's champagne brunch, held every Sunday in their oceanfront dining room with panoramic views of Newport Harbor and Balboa Peninsula, provided the perfect setting for family gatherings that appeared to be simple social occasions, while actually serving as sophisticated character assessment opportunities that revealed authentic family dynamics, generational respect patterns, and the priority systems that governed family member decision-making during important life transitions and celebration planning that tested values and moral foundation worthy of continued financial stewardship and community leadership. The monthly brunch tradition had developed organically after Walter's death, when I recognized the need for regular family interaction that would enable systematic observation of character development and family loyalty demonstration, while maintaining the appearance of normal grandmother activities and intergenerational bonding that honored family traditions and cultural continuity. The neutral location prevented family members from feeling obligated to provide hosting duties or meal preparation, while creating comfortable environments for natural conversation and behavioral assessment that revealed authentic priorities and values system. Patricia's approach to these monthly gatherings consistently reflected her real estate professional priorities and social positioning concerns that increasingly influenced her family relationships and elderly care decisions. She would arrive precisely on time wearing designer business attire that communicated professional success and social status, immediately positioning herself at the table in ways that enabled optimal networking. If other diners included potential clients or industry contacts from Orange County's competitive real estate markets and luxury property sector. Amanda's participation in family brunches had evolved significantly over the 3 years since graduating UC Irvine, transitioning from dutiful attendance and genuine interest in family conversations to increasingly distracted engagement that reflected her growing prioritization of social media presence, career advance, and the relationship development that would eventually lead to her engagement announcement and wedding planning coordination. that revealed fundamental character challenges and values conflicts that threatened her continued foundation eligibility and inheritance consider. The brunch conversations that occurred during these monthly gatherings provided excellent intelligence about family member priorities, financial management approaches, and relationship values, while revealing assumptions about my limited understanding of contemporary business practices and social expectations. Patricia would discuss her real estate transactions and market analysis. Amanda would share updates about her marketing career and social activity, and both would offer advice about appropriate elderly lifestyle management and age-appropriate social participation that demonstrated how completely they misunderstood my actual capabilities and community. The September 17th brunch that would trigger comprehensive wedding planning assessment began with Amanda's unusual excitement and obvious attempts to build anticipation for important news that she wanted to share with family members. Her behavior patterns, frequent phone checking, nervous and strategic conversation timing indicated significant personal developments that would require family support and celebration creating perfect opportunities for character evaluation and family loyalty assessment that would determine her continued foundation benefits and potential inheritance eligibility. Trevor Hamilton's introduction to our family during that September brunch provided immediate opportunities for relationship assessment and character evaluation that would influence wedding planning decisions and foundation support coordination. Trevor, age 27, worked as a financial analyst at a Newport Beach investment firm, specializing in high-net-worth client portfolio management and wealth preservation strategies that served Orange County's affluent families and business executives throughout Southern California's competitive financial services market. Trevor's professional background in financial planning and investment management created interesting dynamics for family conversation and relationship assessment, particularly regarding his assumptions about elderly financial literacy and my supposed dependence on family guidance for basic economic decisions and retirement planning coordination. His education from Stanford Graduate School of Business provided him with sophisticated understanding of wealth management principles and investment strategy, while his limited experience with multi-generational family dynamics and elderly wisdom created character assessment opportunities that would influence foundation evaluation and wedding support decisions. The engagement announcement itself occurred during the main course serve when Amanda dramatically presented her left hand, displaying a substantial diamond engagement ring that immediately captured family attention and initiated celebration responses that revealed authentic priorities and values demonstration. The ring, which Trevor explained represented a 2-carat princess-cut diamond in a platinum setting from Tiffany & Co. in Newport Beach, suggested significant financial investment and careful selection that communicated serious commitment and marriage planning intention. Patricia's immediate reaction to the engagement announcement provided comprehensive documentation of her priority systems and family loyalty demonstration during important life transitions. Her enthusiastic congratulations and immediate questions about wedding planning timelines, venue preferences, and guest list coordination revealed systematic focus on social positioning and image management, rather than emotional support and family celebration that honored intergenerational relationships and cultural continuity that provides meaning and stability throughout major life changes and community recognition. The conversation that followed Amanda's engagement announcement revealed extensive planning and coordination that had been occurring without family consultation or elderly respect that honored traditional family involvement in wedding preparation and celebration. Amanda and Trevor had already researched venue options, discussed budget parameters, and established timeline expectations that assumed family financial support while excluding elderly wisdom and cultural guidance that provides foundation for sustainable marriages and intergenerational family strength. The venue preferences that Amanda described during our engagement celebration brunch reflected sophisticated taste and luxury expectations that significantly exceeded typical young professional budgets and suggested assumptions about family financial assistance that required character demonstration and values assessment to determine foundation support eligibility and funding coordination. Her discussion of potential locations included the Ritz-Carlton Laguna Niguel, the Regis Monarch Beach, and the resort at Pelican Hill, all representing premium Orange County wedding destinations that cost between $75,000 and $200,000 for comprehensive celebration, coordination, and guest accommodation. The guest list planning that Amanda outlined during our celebration brunch revealed extensive social networks and professional relationships that would require significant financial coordination and logistical management that tested family support systems and values demonstration. Her preliminary estimates included 150 to 200 guests, representing her professional contacts, college friendships, Trevor's business relationship, and extended family members throughout California and neighboring states, who would require travel accommodation and celebration coordination that honored both families while maintaining cultural traditions and community celebration. The timeline expectations that governed Amanda's wedding planning approach reflected contemporary celebration, coordination, and professional event management that required sophisticated financial planning and family support systems. Her preference for a spring approximately 8 months from the engagement announcement, created compressed planning schedules that tested family cooperation and resource coordination, while providing opportunities for character assessment and values demonstration that determined foundation support and inheritance eligibility. The budget discussions that emerged during our engagement celebration revealed Amanda's assumptions about family financial capabilities and her expectations regarding wedding funding coordination and family support obligations. Her casual references to family contributions and investment coordination demonstrated complete lack of awareness about actual family financial resources, while revealing entitled expectations about elderly financial assistance that required character evaluation and values assessment to determine foundation support eligibility and coordination assistant. Patricia's immediate offer to help coordinate family financial contributions for Amanda's special day provided additional character assessment data regarding her understanding of family resources and her willingness to assume financial obligations that required foundation assistance and elderly support coordination. Her suggestions about appropriate family wedding investment and reasonable celebration budget coordination revealed systematic misunderstanding of available resources while demonstrating assumptions about my limited financial capabilities and community connections. The preliminary planning conversations that dominated our September brunch revealed extensive coordination requirements and professional service needs that would require significant financial resources and community connections throughout Orange County's luxury wedding industry and hospitality services. Amanda's discussion of photographer preferences, floral design expectations, catering coordination, and entertainment planning suggested comprehensive understanding of contemporary wedding production, while demonstrating complete lack of awareness about actual funding sources and family financial capability. The vendor research that Amanda had already conducted reflected sophisticated planning and quality expectations that honored both her professional image and Trevor's social positioning within Newport Beach's competitive business community and social network. Her preliminary conversations with wedding planners, venue coordinators, and specialty service providers revealed extensive market knowledge and quality standards that required substantial financial investment and family support coordination that tested character demonstration and values assessment, worthy of foundation assistance and inheritance consideration. The cultural and religious considerations that emerged during wedding planning discussions provided opportunities for family tradition assessment and values demonstration that influenced foundation support decisions and inheritance eligibility evaluation. Amanda's approach to ceremony coordination, family involvement, and cultural recognition revealed systematic prioritization of contemporary celebration trends over traditional family customs and elderly wisdom that provides foundation for sustainable marriages and intergenerational family strength throughout economic transitions and social changes. The family involvement expectations that Amanda outlined during our engagement celebration demonstrated concerning patterns regarding elderly respect and intergenerational family participation that would influence foundation support decisions and wedding coordination assist.
Her systematic exclusion of elderly input in venue selection, ceremony planning, and celebration coordination suggested character challenges and values conflicts that threatened her continued foundation, eligibility, and inheritance consideration based on family loyalty demonstration and elderly respect requirement.
But perhaps the most revealing aspect of Amanda's wedding planning approach was her immediate assumption that family financial assistance would be available without character demonstration or values assessment that honored elderly wisdom and family traditions. Her comfortable expectations about family wedding investment and celebration funding coordination revealed entitled attitudes and systematic lack of gratitude for previous foundation assistance that had enabled her education, career development, and lifestyle maintenance throughout her transition from college student to professional employment and social positioning. The honeymoon planning discussions that supplemented wedding coordination revealed additional character assessment, opportunities, and values demonstration that influenced foundation support decisions. Amanda and Trevor's preferences for European travel, luxury accommodation, and extended vacation coordination suggested significant financial expectations that required family assistance while demonstrating assumptions about elderly financial capabilities and foundation resource availability that needed character evaluation and loyalty assessment to determine continued support eligibility. The registry planning and gift coordination that Amanda described reflected sophisticated lifestyle expectations and material acquisition priorities that revealed character development and values demonstration worthy of foundation assessment and inheritance consideration. Her discussions of home furnishing preferences, technology acquisitions, and luxury item coordination suggested systematic focus on material accumulation rather than relationship building and family investment that honors elderly wisdom and intergenerational cultural continuity. The engagement party planning that followed Amanda's brunch announcement provided additional opportunities for character assessment and family loyalty evaluation that would influence wedding support decisions and foundation assistance coordination. Her preferences for celebration venue, guest coordination, and family involvement revealed systematic prioritization of social positioning over elderly respect and family tradition that honored intergenerational relationships and cultural continuity worthy of continued foundation support and inheritance eligibility. The professional coordination that Amanda immediately initiated following her engagement announcement revealed extensive planning capabilities and social network management that demonstrated both individual competence and concerning character patterns regarding family consultation and elderly risk. Her systematic exclusion of elderly input in celebration planning and vendor coordination suggested character challenges that required assessment and potential intervention before wedding support decisions and foundation assistance could be finalized and implemented. The months that followed, Amanda's engagement announcement would provide comprehensive character assessment, opportunities, and family loyalty evaluation that would determine not only wedding funding and celebration coordination, but also long-term foundation support eligibility and inheritance consideration, demonstrated values and elderly respect that honored family traditions while building sustainable relationships and intergenerational cultural continuity worthy of financial stewardship and community leadership across economic transitions and social changes. The wedding planning process that emerged from Amanda's September engagement announcement would create the perfect testing environment for character assessment and values demonstration that would reveal authentic family priorities versus convenient performance during major life celebrations that required family cooperation, elderly respect. The sophisticated celebration coordination that Amanda envisioned would depend entirely on foundation resources that she had never suspected existed, while the character evaluation that governed foundation support would determine whether her wedding dreams reflected values worthy of financial assistance or entitled expectations that violated foundation principles and inheritance requirements. The timeline that stretched from September engagement announcement to planned spring 2024 wedding celebration would provide 8 months of intensive character assessment and family loyalty evaluation that would document authentic priorities, values demonstration, and elderly respected that determined foundation support eligibility and inheritance consideration. The wedding planning coordination that Amanda assumed would receive automatic family financial assistance would actually become the most comprehensive character evaluation that any family member had ever undergone, with consequences that could transform celebration dreams into devastating education about respect, gratitude, and family values, worthy of continued foundation support and generational wealth transfer. As I observed Amanda's excitement and planning enthusiasm during that September brunch, realized that the sophisticated character assessment protocols that protected foundation integrity and inheritance planning would soon need to evaluate whether her wedding celebration reflected values worthy of financial stewardship or entitled to expectations that violated every principle upon the Whitmore Legacy Foundation had been established to support family members who demonstrated character, loyalty, and elderly respect worthy of continued assistance and potential inheritance consideration across generations of family development and community contribution. The sophisticated monitoring systems that I had been operating for 42 years from within my carefully maintained cover identity at Laguna Woods represented one of the most advanced family character assessment and wealth management operations on the West Coast. Built through systematic development of philanthropic intelligence capabilities, behavioral analysis protocols, and family loyalty evaluation frameworks that enabled comprehensive beneficiary oversight while maintaining complete operational secrecy and privacy protection that preserved both family relationships and foundation integrity across multiple generations of charitable giving and community development throughout Southern California's evolving social and economic landscape. The quantum encrypted servers humming quietly behind the false wall panel in my bedroom closet, disguised as Walter's vintage woodworking cabinet that any senior living condominium would contain for storage and sentimental value, processed over 500 daily financial transactions throughout North America and international markets while maintaining real-time communication with foundation management systems, beneficiary monitoring networks, and family character assessment databases that determined financial support eligibility and inheritance consideration across 3 family branches and 14 individual beneficiaries, whose lifestyle security depended entirely on systems they had never suspected existed beneath their grandmother's humble retirement lifestyle and community volunteer activity. The holographic display system that emerged from what appeared to be Walter's old television entertainment center provided 3-dimensional visualization of investment, portfolio performance, family member financial dependency pattern, and character assessment indicators that enabled me to identify emerging relationship problems 12 months before they became apparent to traditional family counseling approaches and intervention strategies. The system's ability to model complex family dynamic scenarios, including inheritance planning impacts, wedding celebration coordination, and character rehabilitation effectiveness, gave the Whitmore Legacy Foundation strategic advantages worth millions of dollars in predictive family planning and wealth preservation decisions that shaped beneficiary development and financial security across economic transitions and generational changes. The biometric security systems protecting my philanthropic operations center included facial recognition, voice analysis, and DNA verification capabilities that institutional wealth management firms use for their most sophisticated family office operations and high net worth client protection protocol. The emergency destruction procedures embedded throughout my senior living condominium could initiate complete data elimination and operational transfer within 37 seconds if unauthorized access was detected, while simultaneously transferring all management control to backup command centers in Irvine, Century City, and La Jolla that maintained identical capabilities and could assume full foundation administration without interrupting beneficiary support or compromising financial security for family members who depended on quarterly distributions and emergency assistance coordination. But perhaps the most sophisticated aspect of my technological infrastructure was the AI-powered family character assessment system that monitored behavioral patterns, crisis response indicators, and intergenerational respect demonstration as primary predictors of long-term family stability and inheritance worthiness. This system, which I personally designed through consultation with behavioral psychology experts and family dynamics specialists from UC Irvine and Stanford University, analyzed communication patterns, emergency response decisions, elderly care priorities, and family loyalty demonstration, to create comprehensive character profiles that determined eligibility for continued foundation benefits and potential inheritance consideration, based on authentic moral foundation, rather than convenient performance during family obligations and social expectations. The Whitmore Legacy Foundation operated as California's most sophisticated privately owned family wealth management and character development organization, controlling every aspect of beneficiary support from initial need assessment and financial planning through ongoing character monitoring, long-term inheritance preparation, and generational wealth transfer that ensured family prosperity while maintaining moral standards and character requirements worthy of financial stewardship and community leadership across economic challenges and social transitions that tested values and family loyalty throughout changing circumstances and evolving social expectations. Our foundation structure, carefully designed through consultation with premier estate planning attorneys and family office specialists, to maintain both operational efficiency and legal compliance across multiple California jurisdictions, included 31 subsidiary accounts that provided specialized services to family members, educational institutions, religious organizations, and community development initiatives throughout Orange County and extending into Los Angeles County and San Bernardino County communities. Beneficiaries had established careers and built families with support from financial systems they had never recognized or acknowledged as coordinated assistance, rather than individual achievement and professional success. Our primary investment division housed the portfolio management and market analysis infrastructure that had generated consistent returns averaging 11.8% annually for 42 consecutive years, building wealth through strategic equity selection, real estate development, international market participation, and alternative investment strategies that enabled a starting portfolio of $68,000 in 1982 to grow into the $20 million foundation that currently provided financial security and opportunity for multiple family branches, while maintaining sufficient reserve capital to weather economic downturns and support emergency needs across decades of market volatility and economic transitions that challenged family stability and community prosperity. The sustainable investment protocols that guided all Whitmore Legacy Foundation portfolio decisions incorporated environmental responsibility, social impact assessment, corporate governance evaluation that protected long-term value while generating income streams sufficient to support family member needs, including mortgage assistance, educational funding, wedding celebration coordination, and the specialized financial planning that helped working families achieve economic stability and generational wealth building that enabled children and grandchildren to pursue opportunities that might otherwise remain beyond their financial reach, while maintaining character development and family values worthy of continued foundation support and inherent consideration. The real estate investment portfolio that formed a substantial component of our foundation assets included luxury residential properties throughout Orange County, commercial real estate developments in Newport Beach and Irvine, and vacation rental properties in San Diego County and Santa Barbara that generated consistent rental income while appreciating in value throughout California's competitive real estate markets. The property management coordination that optimized these investments operated through professional services that maintained complete anonymity while ensuring optimal performance and market positioning that benefited foundation operations and community development throughout Southern California. The municipal bond investments that provided stable income streams and tax advantages included Orange County infrastructure projects, educational facility development, community improvement initiatives that aligned with foundation charitable mission, while generating steady returns and supporting local economic development. The bond portfolio coordination that balanced income generation with community impact enabled foundation operations to support both family beneficiary needs and broader charitable giving, that strengthened communities and built social capital throughout Orange County and surrounding region. The international investment diversification that protected foundation assets against domestic economic volatility included European equity markets, Asian growth opportunities, and emerging market investments that provided currency diversification and global economic exposure. The international portfolio management that coordinated these investments operated through Swiss banking relationships and London financial institutions that maintained strict privacy protocols while ensuring optimal performance and regulatory compliance across multiple jurisdictions and economic systems. Our Family Support Division provided comprehensive assistance coordination for all approved beneficiaries, including emergency financial coverage, educational scholarship administration, major life event funding, and the specialized character monitoring that maintained family standards, building financial literacy and values education that enabled beneficiaries to contribute to family prosperity while maintaining the moral foundation necessary for sustainable financial relationships and intergenerational foundation stewardship that honored both individual achievement, collective family welfare across economic transitions and social changes. The beneficiary services that our foundation provided included financial planning consultation, educational guidance, estate planning coordination, and character development support that helped family members navigate life transitions, while building integrity and demonstrating loyalty that qualified them for continued foundation benefits and potential inheritance consideration. The programming that we offered through partnerships with financial advisors, family counselors, and educational institutions provided beneficiaries with knowledge and skills that enabled sustainable prosperity while maintaining family connections and elderly respect that preserved foundation eligibility and inheritance potential across generations of family development and community contribution. The educational support programs that operated through foundation coordination included direct tuition assistance for universities and private schools throughout California, scholarship administration for academic achievement and community service recognition, and professional development funding that enabled career advancement and skill building. The educational partnerships that we maintained with UC Irvine, Stanford University, and Chapman University provided specialized programming and research opportunities while supporting institutional development and community educational access that benefited thousands of students and families throughout Orange County. The healthcare coordination services that foundation operations provided included comprehensive medical insurance supplementation, emergency medical expense coverage, and specialized healthcare access that ensured optimal medical care and preventive health management. The healthcare partnerships that we maintained with Hoag Hospital, UCI Medical Center, and other premier Orange County healthcare institutions provided beneficiaries with optimal medical care while supporting institutional development and community healthcare access that benefited thousands of patients and families throughout the region. But perhaps the most strategically important aspect of our operations was the character assessment and behavior monitoring network that tracked family member interactions, elderly respect decision values demonstration patterns to identify relatives whose character and actions aligned with foundation principles versus those whose moral deterioration threatened their continued eligibility for financial support and inheritance consideration. This monitoring system, coordinated through discreet observation and family interaction analysis, provided early warning indicators of character failures while offering intervention opportunities that addressed moral challenges before they required more severe consequences that might disrupt family harmony and financial security. The character evaluation protocols that governed foundation beneficiary assessment included comprehensive analysis of family interaction patterns, elderly care decisions, crisis response indicator, and community involvement that revealed authentic values versus convenient performance during family obligations and social expectations. The monitoring systems that documented these behavioral patterns operated through normal family interaction while maintaining complete discretion and privacy protection that enabled accurate assessment without compromising family relationships or creating artificial behavior modification
that might obscure authentic character evaluation.
The crisis response assessment
Frameworks that determined foundation support during family emergencies included evaluation of family loyalty demonstration, elderly respect priority, and community responsibility that revealed character foundation worthy of continued financial assistance and inheritance consideration.
The assessment protocols that documented crisis response patterns provided comprehensive data about authentic values
and moral foundation that predicted long-term family stability and beneficiary worthiness for generational wealth transfer and community leadership responsibility.
The family loyalty evaluation
Systems that influenced inheritance planning and foundation support decisions included analysis of intergenerational respect patterns, cultural continuity commitment, and elderly care priorities that honored family traditions while building sustainable relationships worthy of financial stewardship and community leadership.
The loyalty assessment
Protocols that documented family member behavior during important life transitions provided early warning indicator of character deterioration while offering intervention opportunities that could address relationship challenges before they required more serious consequences or foundation support elimination.
The community involvement assessment
that influenced foundation support decisions included evaluation of charitable giving patterns, volunteer service commitment, and social responsibility demonstration that aligned with foundation mission and community development goals.
The community assessment
Protocols that documented beneficiary involvement in charitable activities and social contribution provided additional character evaluation data that supplemented family interaction analysis and elderly respect demonstration in determining continued foundation support eligibility and inheritance consideration.
The relationships I've developed with investment advisors,
estate planning attorneys, and wealth management professionals over 42 years of strategic philanthropic coordination provided the Whitmore Legacy Foundation with expertise and market access that enabled sophisticated portfolio management and beneficiary support while maintaining complete privacy and operational security that protected family members from knowledge that might compromise their character development or create dependency relationships that could undermine their personal growth and professional achievement while building authentic prosperity and community contribution.
The investment philosophy that
guided all foundation operations emphasized sustainable growth, risk management, and generational wealth preservation that served family needs, while building character and moral foundation necessary for continued financial stewardship and community leadership.
The policies that governed foundation distributions
required ongoing demonstration of family loyalty, elderly respect, and personal responsibility that maintained foundation integrity while providing beneficiaries with opportunities to earn continued support through character demonstration.
Family contribution
that honored both individual achievement and collective welfare across economic transitions and social changes.
The sophisticated intelligence capabilities
that I coordinated through partnerships with family counseling organizations, community leaders, and professional networks enabled the Whitmore Legacy Foundation to identify and prevent systematic family disruption from external influences, manipulative relationships, and character-corrupting factors that threatened beneficiary eligibility, while providing intervention opportunities that protected family unity and foundation through appropriate support and guidance that addressed challenges before they required more serious consequences or benefit elimination that could disrupt family prosperity and community.
The academic
and professional development partnerships that I maintained with financial planning organizations, estate law firms, and family office management companies provided theoretical foundations for our practical innovations and character-based wealth transfer and values-centered beneficiary selection.
The specialists and consultants who contributed to our family support strategies through professional consulting agreements
had no idea that their work contributed to a privately owned family foundation,
believing instead
that they were participating in research projects funded by anonymous grants and community development initiatives that supported Orange County families and educational institutions.
The legal framework that
Governed foundation operations included compliance with California nonprofit regulations, federal tax requirements, and fiduciary responsibility standards that protected beneficiary interests while maintaining operational flexibility and privacy protection. The legal partnerships that we maintained with premier estate planning firms throughout Orange County and Los Angeles provided ongoing consultation and regulatory guidance, while ensuring complete confidentiality and operational security that protected foundation and family privacy across changing legal requirements and evolving regulatory environments.
The tax optimization strategies that maximized foundation resources and charitable impact
included sophisticated estate planning coordination, gift tax minimization, and charitable deduction optimization that protected foundation assets while ensuring maximum community benefit and family support capability.
The tax planning partnerships that we maintained with specialized accounting firms and estate planning attorneys provided ongoing optimization, compliance coordination,
while maintaining complete discretion and privacy protection that enabled optimal foundation performance and beneficiary support across changing tax regulations and economic conditions.
The wedding celebration coordination
that would expose the devastating gap between families' assumptions about my limited resources and the reality of my hidden philanthropic authority had been developing for months as Amanda's planning progressed and her character assessment revealed increasingly problematic patterns of entitled expectations, elderly dismissal, and family loyalty failures that threatened her continued foundation eligibility and inheritance consideration, while providing perfect opportunities for comprehensive character evaluation and potential foundation support restructuring that could transform comfortable assumptions about generational wealth, educational consequences about respect, gratitude, and family values worthy of continued financial assistance.
The preliminary wedding vendor research that Amanda had conducted throughout the fall of 2023 revealed extensive coordination requirements and luxury service expectations that require substantial financial resources and community connections throughout Orange County's premium wedding industry and hospitality services.
Her discussions with wedding planners at events companies like Sterling Social, Adora Events, and international event companies suggested comprehensive understanding of contemporary celebration production, while demonstrating complete lack of awareness about actual funding sources and family financial capabilities that made her luxury expectations possible through foundation coordination and charitable support systems.
The venue selection process that dominated Amanda's wedding planning approach throughout October and November 2023 focused exclusively on Orange County's most prestigious celebration locations that required substantial financial investment and social connections for optimal coordination and guest accommodation.
Her serious consideration of the Ritz-Carlton Laguna Niguel, the St. Regis Monarch Beach, and the resort at Pelican Hill reflected sophisticated taste and luxury expectations that significantly exceeded typical young professional budgets, while revealing assumptions about family assistance that required character demonstration and values assessment to determine foundation support eligibility and wedding funding coordination.
The vendor coordination that Amanda pursued throughout her wedding planning process
included premium service providers throughout Orange County's competitive luxury event industry,
suggesting extensive market research
and quality standards that honored both her professional image and Trevor's social positioning within Newport Beach's affluent business community and social networks.
Her preliminary contracts with photographers,
florist, caterer, and entertainment coordinators revealed systematic focus on image perfection and social positioning rather than family celebration and cultural tradition that honored elderly wisdom and intergenerational family values worthy of foundation support and inheritance consideration. The guest list development that consumed much of Amanda's planning attention throughout the fall months revealed extensive social networks and professional relationships that would require significant financial coordination and logistical management that tested family support systems and values demonstration. Her preliminary estimates had grown from initial projections of 150-200 guests to more than 250 attendees, representing her expanding professional contacts, college friendships, Trevor's business relationship, and extended family members throughout California and neighboring states, who would require travel accommodation and celebration coordination that honored both families while maintaining cultural traditions and community celebration worthy of foundation assistance and character assessment. The budget discussions that emerged during Amanda's vendor research revealed systematic assumptions about family financial capabilities and her expectations regarding wedding funding coordination and family support obligations. Her casual references to family investment coordination, celebration funding assistance, demonstrated complete lack of awareness about actual family financial resources, while revealing entitled expectations about elderly financial contribution that required character evaluation and values assessment to determine foundation support eligibility. Wedding coordination assistance that honored family relationships and intergenerational respect.
But perhaps the most concerning aspect of Amanda's wedding planning approach was her systematic exclusion of elderly input and family tradition consideration that revealed character challenges and values conflicts that threatened her continued foundation eligibility and inheritance consideration. Her planning process consistently prioritized contemporary celebration trends and social positioning over cultural continuity and elderly wisdom that provides foundation for sustainable marriages and intergenerational family strength throughout economic transitions and social changes that test character and family loyalty worthy of generational wealth transfer and community leadership. The monitoring systems that documented Amanda's wedding planning behavior throughout the fall and winter months provided comprehensive character assessment data that revealed authentic priorities, values demonstration, and family loyalty patterns that would determine foundation support decisions and inheritance eligibility evaluation. The discrete observation protocols that tracked her planning coordination, vendor selection, and family consultation patterns created detailed behavioral profiles that supplemented crisis response assessment and elderly respect evaluation in determining her worthiness for continued foundation benefits and potential inheritance consideration. As Amanda's wedding planning progressed through the winter months of 2023-2024, the character assessment systems that protected foundation integrity and inheritance planning would need to evaluate whether her celebration coordination reflected values worthy of financial stewardship or entitled expectations that violated every principle upon which the Whitmore Legacy Foundation had been established to support family members who demonstrated character, loyalty, and elderly respect worthy of continued assistance and potential inheritance consideration across generations of family development and community contribution that honored both individual achievement and collective family welfare throughout changing social and economic circumstances. The relationship between Amanda and me, that would eventually be corrupted by Trevor's influence and her growing obsession with social positioning, had begun with genuine love, cultural respect, and the kind of intergenerational bond that creates lasting family strength and community connection. During Amanda's childhood in the late 1990s and early 2000s, when Walter was still alive and our modest riverside home served as the gathering place for extended family celebrations, Amanda would spend entire weekends with us, learning about family traditions, financial responsibility, and the values of hard work, education, and respect for elderly wisdom that I had hoped would guide her character development throughout her adult life and professional career in Orange County's competitive business environment. Those early years were filled with projects that taught Amanda practical skills while building our relationship through shared accomplishments and cultural education. Walter would involve Amanda in home improvement activities, painting the guest bedroom walls in cheerful yellow, maintaining the vegetable garden that produced tomatoes and herbs for family meals, organizing family photographs that documented our community involvement and financial journey from modest beginnings to comfortable retirement, While I taught her basic financial literacy, household management techniques, and the importance of maintaining family connections that linked current generations to their cultural heritage and community roots, through responsible resource management and elderly respect that honored wisdom and experience. The conversations we shared during Amanda's formative years revealed her natural intelligence, her curiosity about financial planning and business operation, her genuine interest in understanding the economic principles that determined which families achieved prosperity and which struggled with financial instability despite their hard work and educational achievements. When Amanda was 9 years, she would sit at our kitchen table while I prepared lesson plans for my elementary school classes, asking thoughtful questions about budgeting, saving strategy, and the social systems that helped working families build wealth and community standing over time, through careful financial planning and character development that honored both individual achievement and collective family wealth. The family values that Walter and I tried to instill during Amanda's childhood emphasized the importance of intergenerational support, financial responsibility, and the kind of character development that enables people to succeed professionally while maintaining their moral foundation, family loyalty, and community connections that provide meaning and stability throughout life transitions and economic challenges. We taught Amanda that true success required balancing personal achievement with family responsibilities, that elderly wisdom deserved respect and consideration, that financial prosperity created obligations to support family members and contribute to community welfare, rather than simply accumulating material possessions and social status that might impress others, but failed to build lasting relationships and cultural continuity. The educational support that Walter and I provided during Amanda's elementary and high school years included homework assistance, college preparation guidance, and the kind of consistent encouragement that helps first-generation college students develop confidence and academic ambition while maintaining cultural identity and family connections that honor heritage and wisdom. When Amanda struggled with advanced mathematics during her sophomore year at Corona del Mar High School, I spent countless hours helping her understand business and economic concepts, using practical examples from household budgeting and community investment to make abstract principles relevant to real-world applications that she could comprehend and apply to her academic studies and future career planning. The financial literacy education that formed a central part of Amanda's childhood development included age-appropriate lessons about budgeting, saving, investment basics, and the importance of living within one's means, while building wealth through careful resource management and strategic financial planning that honored both individual needs and family responsibilities. Walter and I opened her first savings account when she turned 10 years old, teaching her to contribute a portion of birthday money and allowance earnings, while watching her modest deposits grow through compound interest and regular contribution, discipline that demonstrated the power of consistent financial habits and long-term planning strategies that could transform small sacrifices into substantial wealth over time. The community service activities that we encouraged Amanda to participate in throughout her childhood and adolescence included volunteering at senior centers in Newport Beach and Laguna Beach, assisting with church fundraising events for community outreach programs, helping elderly neighbors with grocery shopping and household maintenance that taught her about the dignity and wisdom of aging, while building character through service to others who needed assistance and support. These experiences were designed to develop empathy, responsibility, and respect for elderly community members who had contributed to society throughout their lives and deserved honor and care during their later years, when physical limitations and social isolation could create challenges that required family and community support. The college preparation process that culminated in Amanda's acceptance to UC Irvine represented years of academic guidance, financial planning, and character development that enabled her to pursue higher education with confidence, family support, and clear understanding of the sacrifices that Walter and I made to ensure her educational opportunities while maintaining our modest lifestyle and community involvement. The partial scholarship that supplemented our financial contribution came through community organizations and academic achievement recognition that reflected not only her individual capabilities, but also the family foundation and community connections that supported her development and advancement through networks and relationships that honored both merit and family contribution to community welfare. However, Amanda's transformation from a respectful young woman who valued family relationships and financial responsibility into someone whose priorities could be systematically corrupted by a fiancé who viewed elderly family members as obstacles to social advancement had been gradual but increasingly apparent over the past 3 years since she met Trevor Hamilton at a Newport Beach networking event for young professionals in finance and business development that emphasized competitive career positioning and strategic relationship management over collaborative contribution involvement. The early signs of character deterioration became apparent during Amanda's senior year at UC Irvine, when her coursework in business administration and marketing communications introduced her to contemporary success theories and competitive career preparation programs that gradually convinced her that efficiency and optimization should guide personal relationships, just as they determined professional decision-making and strategic networking that prioritized measurable outcomes over emotional connection and family continuity that provided meaning and stability throughout life. Transitions and economic challenges that tested character and values worthy of long-term relationship investment. The internship experiences that Amanda pursued during her junior and senior years introduced her to corporate environments where success was measured primarily through individual achievement, quarterly performance metrics, and advancement up organizational hierarchies that rewarded personal ambition over collaborative contribution and community involvement that built social capital and mutual support network. The mentors she encountered in these professional settings consistently emphasized the importance of strategic networking, resource allocation, and calculated relationship management that treated personal connections as career development tools rather than sources of mutual support. Cultural learning and emotional fulfillment that sustained character development and family loyalty throughout economic transitions and social changes. The academic theories that Amanda absorbed during her business program included economic models that prioritized efficiency over equity, optimization over stability, and individual advancement over community welfare and intergenerational support that honored elderly wisdom and cultural heritage as valuable guidance rather than obsolete burden that interfered with contemporary lifestyle management and professional advancement opportunities that required strategic positioning and social networking. Her professors, many of whom had limited experience with working-class family businesses or community-based economics, taught Amanda to evaluate every relationship and commitment according to measurable return on investment and opportunity cost calculations that systematically undervalued the contributions that elderly family members provide through wisdom, emotional support, institutional memory, and cultural knowledge preservation. But perhaps the most damaging aspect of Amanda's college experience was her systematic misunderstanding of the support systems that enabled her educational success and career preparation. The scholarships that reduced her student loan debt, the internship opportunities that provided practical experience and professional networking, and the career placement services that connected her with promising employment opportunities all reflected careful coordination through community organizations and financial assistance programs that Walter and I had supported through volunteer work and charitable giving. Though Amanda interpreted this support as evidence of her individual merit, academic achievement, and professional potential, rather than recognizing the institutional assistance that had created her advancement opportunity. The employment opportunity that Amanda secured immediately after UC Irvine graduation with Pacific Coast Marketing, a boutique advertising firm specializing in luxury lifestyle and professional services marketing throughout Orange County, represented exactly the kind of strategic career placement that enabled promising young professionals to gain experience, build industry connection, and develop expertise that would benefit both individual career advancement and community economic development throughout Southern California's competitive business markets and professional networks. The position that seemed perfectly suited to Amanda's educational background, personal and professional ambitions, reflected systematic coordination between community organizations and business networks that provided emerging professionals with career development opportunities that wouldn't normally be available to recent graduates without extensive industry experience. Professional networking. The training programs, client relationships, and advancement opportunities that enabled Amanda's rapid progression from entry-level coordinator to account manager represented specialized development that most marketing professionals received only after years of industry experience and competitive achievement in Orange County's demanding business environment. The salary progression that enabled Amanda to transition from apartment living in Costa Mesa to a luxury condominium in Newport Beach reflected commission structures and performance incentives that were possible because her marketing campaigns consistently achieved superior results through access to professional networks, client relationships, and industry expertise that other account managers couldn't replicate without similar community connections and mentorship assistance that Amanda never recognized as systematic support, rather than earned professional advancement based solely on individual capability and work ethic. The networking opportunities that connected Amanda with industry leaders, potential client, professional development programs, represented strategic relationship building, coordinated through community business organizations, rather than organic career development, that demonstrated individual initiative and interpersonal skills. The professional associations, industry conferences, continuing education programs that enhanced Amanda's credentials and market knowledge were subsidized through community partnerships and professional development initiatives that most marketing professionals couldn't afford without employer support or personal financial sacrifice that limit career advancement and professional networking opportunities. The client relationships that formed the foundation of Amanda's professional success and commission income reflected introductions and business development coordination through community networks that connected local businesses, marketing professionals who demonstrated both professional competence and community commitment that predicted long-term business relationships and mutual success. The trust and professional credibility that Amanda earned from clients wasn't simply the result of her individual capabilities, marketing expertise. It reflected the carefully managed business coordination and community reputation that made her clients successful while building their appreciation for her professional services and strategic guidance. However, the most significant factor in Amanda's character development was meeting Trevor Hamilton during a professional networking event at the Balboa Bay Club in Newport Beach, where young professionals in finance, real estate, and business services gathered monthly to build relationships and coordinate business opportunities that supported regional economic development and professional advancement. Trevor's background as a financial analyst at Hamilton & Associates Wealth Management, a boutique investment firm that served affluent families throughout Orange County, provided him with sophisticated understanding of financial planning, luxury lifestyle management, and the social networking strategies that enabled successful professionals to maintain their status and influence across career transitions and economic changes. Trevor's professional training in investment management and financial planning had taught him to evaluate relationships and commitment according to strategic value, resource optimization, and measurable outcomes that could be leveraged to influence lifestyle advancement and social positioning that aligned with professional objectives rather than emotional fulfillment or family obligation that required time, energy, and financial resources without providing quantifiable returns on investment or career advancement opportunities. His systematic approach to relationship management consistently excluded individuals and activities that couldn't contribute to career advancement or social status enhancement, creating a worldview that prioritized efficiency
and strategic positioning over authentic connection and community contribution. The courtship between Amanda and Trevor that developed over 18 months of professional networking and social activities revealed a worldview that prioritized measurable lifestyle outcomes, strategic social positioning, and career advancement coordination over relationships, tradition, and the unmeasurable contributions that elderly family members provide through emotional support, historical perspective, and institutional memory that connects current generations to their cultural heritage and community roots. Trevor's influence on Amanda's thinking about family relationships had been particularly damaging because his apparent sophistication and financial expertise provided seemingly authoritative validation for attitudes that prioritized convenience and image management over family loyalty and intergenerational respect. The relationship dynamics that Trevor established with Amanda consistently minimized the importance of family obligations and elderly care responsibilities, while maximizing focus on professional networking, lifestyle enhancement, and social positioning that demonstrated their material success and career advancement. Their conversations about family planning, financial management, and lifestyle optimization revealed systematic calculation about elderly care obligations that treated family support as budgetary line items rather than expressions of love and respect that maintained cultural continuity and provided meaning throughout life transitions and aging processes that required family involvement and community support. The influence operations that Trevor conducted to reshape Amanda's understanding of success, family relationships, and social responsibility were sophisticated psychological manipulation techniques that exploited her natural ambition while systematically undermining her connection to cultural heritage, family value, and community involvement that had previously provided meaning and stability throughout her educational and professional development. His suggestions about optimizing family time, streamlining elderly care responsibility, and professionalizing financial support for aging relatives consistently reinforced Amanda's growing impatience with family obligations that interfered with career networking and social advancement opportunities that required strategic time management and resource allocation. The lifestyle changes that Trevor introduced into Amanda's daily routine and social activities systematically prioritized image management, status demonstration, and social positioning over authentic relationship building, community involvement, and the kind of character development that enables people to succeed professionally, maintaining their moral foundation and family connections that provide stability and meaning throughout economic transitions and life challenges. The social entertainment that Trevor organized consistently excluded elderly family members and focused on experiences that reinforced their identification with successful professional couples rather than multi-generational family systems that valued wisdom and experience alongside innovation. The financial planning strategies that Trevor implemented for their household systematically prioritized lifestyle enhancement, status demonstration, and social positioning over family support, community contribution, the kind of intergenerational wealth building that enables families to provide security and opportunity across multiple generations. Their investment priorities, discretionary spending patterns, and charitable giving decisions consistently favored causes and organizations and enhanced their social status while reducing support for family members and community organizations that had previously received Amanda's time, attention, and financial contribution. But perhaps the most destructive aspect of Trevor's influence was his systematic efforts to isolate Amanda from family members and community connections that might challenge his values or question his priorities. His scheduling of important events that conflicted with family gatherings, his creation of social obligations that required Amanda's attention during traditional family time, and his subtle criticism of cultural traditions and family customs represented coordinated strategy to weaken Amanda's connection to her heritage, while strengthening her dependence on his approval and social validation that positioned him as essential to her lifestyle management and professional success. As Trevor's influence over Amanda's values and priorities became increasingly apparent through her changed behavior toward family gatherings, elderly care responsibilities, and community involvement, I realized that the character assessment protocols that protected our foundation operations from financial disruption would soon need to be applied to my own family members, whose transformation threatened not only their eligibility for continued foundation support, also their access to the inheritance and financial security that had enabled their prosperity and social advancement throughout their professional development and lifestyle establishment, and Orange County's competitive business markets and affluent social network. The Sunday brunch at the Island Hotel in Newport Beach on March 3, 2024, would provide the most comprehensive real-time documentation of character failure and family loyalty destruction that any ungrateful granddaughter had ever demonstrated during wedding planning coordination, creating irrefutable evidence that would justify the most severe financial consequences available through foundation, governance, and inheritance restructuring that could transform comfortable assumptions about generational wealth into devastating education about respect, responsibility, and the reality that financial security requires demonstration of character worthy of continued family investment and support across generations of community development and family prosperity. The March brunch that I had specifically scheduled to discuss final wedding coordination details, family participation arrangements, would serve as the ultimate character assessment opportunity that would determine not only Amanda's continued foundation support eligibility, but also her access to the inheritance and financial security that had enabled her lifestyle and professional advancement throughout her career development and Orange County's competitive business markets. The neutral venue and formal occasion would provide perfect documentation of family interaction patterns and elderly respect demonstration that would influence foundation decisions for decades to come. Amanda's arrival at the Island Hotel that Sunday morning demonstrated her complete transformation from the respectful young woman who had once valued family wisdom into someone whose priorities had been systematically corrupted by Trevor's influence and social positioning obsession. She appeared wearing a designer outfit that communicated professional success and social status, a cream-colored blazer from Nordstrom, tailored pants and accessories that suggested someone whose greatest concerns involved image management and lifestyle optimization, rather than family relationships and elderly respect that honored intergenerational wisdom and cultural continuity. The preliminary conversation that occurred while we waited for our table revealed Amanda's systematic preparation for what she clearly viewed as a family management session, rather than collaborative wedding planning that honored elderly input and family tradition. Her smartphone remained prominently displayed throughout our interaction, suggesting priorities that placed professional networking and social media engagement above family time and elderly conversation that could provide wisdom and guidance for marriage preparation and life transition planning that required character development and relationship skills. Patricia's approach to the March brunch demonstrated her continued prioritization of real estate, professional obligations, over family involvement, and elderly support during important life transitions. She arrived 15 minutes late, immediately apologizing for scheduling conflicts, important client meetings, while positioning herself at our table in ways that enabled optimal monitoring of her phone for potential business communications and professional networking opportunities that might arise during family time that should have been dedicated to wedding coordination, family celebration planning. The conversation that Patricia initiated immediately upon joining our table revealed her systematic assumptions about wedding funding, coordination, and her expectations regarding family financial contributions that demonstrated complete misunderstanding of actual family resources and foundation capabilities. Her suggestions about reasonable family wedding investment and appropriate celebration, budget coordination, consistently treated my potential contribution as modest elderly assistance, rather than recognizing the sophisticated financial planning and foundation resources that could transform Amanda's wedding dreams into reality through comprehensive coordination and luxury service provision. But the moment that would provide perfect justification for systematic revelation and educational consequences occurred when Amanda turned toward me with the kind of calculated expression that revealed months of strategic planning and family management preparation. Her approach suggested someone who had been carefully coached about elderly conversation techniques and family obligation management that would enable optimal outcome achievement while minimizing inconvenience and social positioning complications that might interfere with her wedding coordination and professional management. Grandma Rose, Amanda began with the kind of artificial sweetness that immediately revealed her systematic preparation for family manipulation and elderly management. Trevor and I have been thinking a lot about our wedding celebration and family involvement coordination. We really want this to be a perfect day that represents our professional achievement and social positioning within Newport Beach's business community and our friends' expectations about contemporary celebration coordination. The language patterns that Amanda used during her wedding discussion revealed extensive coaching and strategic communication preparation that treated elderly conversation as obstacle management rather than family consultation that honored wisdom and experience. Her systematic emphasis on professional achievement and social positioning demonstrated complete disconnection from family values and cultural traditions that provide meaning and stability throughout marriage, transitions, and life commitment ceremonies that require character foundation and community support. We've been working with some amazing vendors and coordination specialists throughout Orange County, Amanda continued, while displaying obvious excitement about luxury service providers and premium celebration coordination that required substantial financial investment. And we've planned something really special at the Ritz-Carlton Laguna Niguel that will showcase our success and provide the kind of sophisticated celebration that our professional networks and social connections expect from couples in our position.
The venue description that Amanda provided revealed extensive planning coordination and luxury service selection that would require foundation-level financial resources while demonstrating her complete lack of awareness about actual funding sources and family financial capabilities. Her casual discussion of premium wedding coordination services, luxury accommodation provisions, and comprehensive guest experience management suggested assumptions about family financial assistance that required character assessment and values evaluation to determine foundation support eligibility. The thing is, Amanda said with the kind of strategic hesitation that revealed extensive preparation for difficult conversation management, we're really concerned about maintaining the right atmosphere and social positioning throughout our celebration. Trevor's business relationships and my professional networks include some very sophisticated people who have specific expectations about contemporary wedding coordination and social event management. The setup that Amanda was creating for her ultimate request revealed systematic preparation and strategic communication that treated elderly family members as potential complications rather than honored participants in marriage celebration and family tradition recognition. Her emphasis on sophisticated people and specific expectations demonstrated character deterioration and values conflicts that threatened her continued foundation eligibility while providing perfect opportunities for comprehensive character assessment and potential consequence implementation. We've invested so much in creating the perfect celebration, Amanda continued with growing confidence in her manipulation strategy, and we really need to make sure that everything goes smoothly and maintains the professional image and social positioning that we've worked so hard to establish. Some of our guests will include Trevor's managing partners, my biggest clients, and social connections, who could influence our career advancement and professional opportunity. The systematic character assassination that Amanda was building toward her grandmother became increasingly apparent through her language choices and strategic positioning that treated elderly family participation as risk management rather than family celebration and cultural recognition. Her prioritization of professional networking over family involvement revealed moral failures and character deterioration that violated every principle upon which the Whitmore Legacy Foundation had been established to support family members who demonstrated elderly respect and family loyalty. "Grandma, I need you to understand something important," Amanda said while leaning forward with the kind of calculated intimacy that revealed extensive preparation for elderly manipulation and family management. "This wedding represents everything that Trevor and I have worked toward in our professional lives. It's not just a family celebration, it's a business and social positioning event that could determine our career advancement and community standing for years to come." The explicit statement that revealed Amanda's complete transformation from family-oriented values to strategic social positioning provided comprehensive documentation of character failure and moral deterioration that justified immediate foundation consequences and inheritance restructure. Her systematic devaluation of family celebration in favor of professional networking violated every assessment criterion that determined foundation support eligibility and inheritance consideration. Amanda continued with the kind of manipulative emotional appeal that revealed sophisticated preparation for elderly consent management. "And I hope you'll understand that this request comes from love and concern for our family's reputation and social standing within Newport Beach's professional community and business network." The setup that preceded Amanda's ultimate request created perfect documentation of her systematic approach to elderly manipulation and family loyalty destruction that would justify the most comprehensive financial consequences available through foundation governance and inheritance elimination. Her appeal to family reputation, while simultaneously preparing to exclude elderly family participation, revealed moral bankruptcy that eliminated any possibility of continued foundation support. "Grandma Rose," Amanda said with the kind of calculated directness that revealed months of strategic preparation and family management planning, "I need you to promise you won't embarrass us at the wedding. Maybe it's better if you just stay home and watch the live stream like the other elderly relatives who can't handle formal events and sophisticated social coordination." The systematic elderly dismissal and family humiliation that Amanda delivered while sitting in a public restaurant, irrefutable evidence of character failure that justified immediate revelation and devastating consequences through foundation resource coordination and inheritance restructuring. Her casual suggestion that I stay home for my own granddaughter's wedding while other elderly relatives watched via live stream revealed complete moral bankruptcy and elderly dehumanization that violated every principle of family respect and intergenerational honor. "Amanda's sweetheart," I replied with the patient tone that elderly wisdom provides when adult grandchildren finally demonstrate readiness to understand consequences and character assessment. "I think there might be some confusion about who has the authority to determine social positioning and family celebration coordination in this situation." The puzzled expression that crossed Amanda's face revealed her growing awareness that my response suggested knowledge and authority that contradicted her assumptions about elderly limitations and family dependency, while the attention that our conversation was attracting from other brunch guests created exactly the kind of public education opportunity that would ensure comprehensive community awareness of the lesson about respect and character that was about to unfold through systematic revelation of hidden foundation authority and wedding funding coordination. Amanda asked with the kind of nervous confusion that revealed her systematic preparation had not included contingency planning for elderly resistance or authority demonstration that challenged her manipulation strategy and family management expectations. I replied with gentle correction that would begin her education about respect, authority, and financial reality. "I think you should meet the person who has been funding your entire lifestyle, your professional advance, and who happens to own every detail of your perfect Ritz-Carlton wedding celebration." The silence that followed provided perfect documentation of the moment when comfortable assumptions about elderly dependency and family financial limitations collided with the reality of hidden foundation authority and character-based wealth management that determined family support based on demonstrated values rather than assumed entitlement or convenient assumptions about generational obligation and elderly care responsibility. "Ladies and gentlemen," I announced to the gathering of brunch guests who had assumed they were witnessing routine family planning conversation, "my name is Rose Catherine Whitmore, and I am the founder, principal director, Son trustee of the Whitmore Legacy Foundation, a $280 philanthropic organization that has been funding Amanda's UC Irvine education, her Pacific Coast marketing career advancement, her Newport Beach condominium lifestyle, and every vendor, server, and luxury accommodation for her $150,000 Ritz-Carlton wedding celebration that she just told me I'm too embarrassing to attend. The comprehensive silence that greeted this announcement revealed the systematic shock that accompanies complete worldview destruction and the recognition that fundamental assumptions about financial relationships and family authority were entirely wrong. The restaurant staff and nearby guests, who had assumed they were observing normal family brunch conversation, suddenly realized they were witnessing the systematic revelation of hidden wealth and family financial dependency that would transform comfortable assumptions about inheritance entitlement into devastating education, character requirements, and elderly respect. The comfortable lifestyle that enabled Amanda to pursue her marketing career, I continued while observing the growing horror on her face as the scope of her financial dependency became apparent, including the condominium down payment that she assumed reflected her professional success, the professional wardrobe and networking expenses that enabled her career advancement, and the comprehensive financial support that made her lifestyle possible. Actually represents systematic foundation, benefits that require ongoing demonstration of family loyalty and elderly respect as conditions for continued financial support and inheritance eligibility. Amanda's expression revealed her systematic processing of information that challenged every assumption about financial independence, professional achievement, and inheritance entitlement, while demonstrating her complete dependency on foundation systems that required character demonstration, family loyalty, that she had systematically violated through elderly neglect and social positioning priorities that threatened her continued eligibility for any form of financial support or inheritance consideration. Amanda's sweetheart, I said with the patient explanation that elderly love provides when adult grandchildren finally demonstrate readiness to understand consequences and character development, the Ritz-Carlton wedding celebration that you've been planning, including Thou's-owned comprehensive coordination that covers your venue rental, catering services, floral arrangements, photography, entertainment, and guest accommodation, has been funded entirely through foundation resources that I have been coordinating since your engagement announcement last September. The wedding documentation that I retrieved from my purse and placed on the brunch table provided immediate visual confirmation of the financial agreements, vendor contracts, and celebration coordination that governed Amanda's dream wedding while demonstrating the foundation authority and resource coordination that made her luxury expectations possible through charitable foundation management and family support systems that required character demonstration and elderly respect for continued eligibility and inheritance consideration. The systematic dismissal of elderly family members during wedding planning, I explained while Amanda's comfortable assumptions about financial security collapsed around her understanding of reality, represents exactly the kind of character failure that justifies immediate foundation, restructuring, and inheritance elimination that protects family assets while providing education about respect, loyalty, and the moral foundation necessary for sustainable financial relationships and generational wealth stewardship that honors elderly wisdom while building community prosperity. The foundation coordinator who arrived 30 minutes later, Margaret Chen, whose character assessment reports had documented the escalating problems with Amanda's elderly respect attitudes and family loyalty demonstration throughout her wedding planning process, brought the official notice of foundation benefit suspension and the financial independence transition that would provide Amanda with comprehensive education about the difference between earned prosperity and gifted support that required ongoing character demonstration and family loyalty. Margaret announced to the gathering of shocked restaurant guests who were witnessing the most comprehensive lesson about character and financial consequences that any ungrateful family member had ever received. This notice initiates immediate suspension of all foundation benefits, including lifestyle support, professional development assistance, wedding celebration funding pending character assessment review that will determine your family's continued eligibility for any form of financial assistance or inheritance consideration, based on demonstrated elderly respect and family loyalty. The wedding cancellation notice that arrived by secure courier 45 minutes later informed Amanda that her Ritz-Carlton celebration would proceed exactly as planned on April 20, with all vendors paid in full and guest accommodations confirmed, but that neither she nor any family member who supported her elderly dismissal would be permitted to attend the $50,000 celebration that would occur without them as a community education event about respect, character, and the consequences that follow when family financial security develops without elderly honor and family loyalty demonstration. The vendor coordination that I had been managing throughout Amanda's wedding planning process ensured that every service provided, from the Ritz-Carlton event coordination team to the premium florists and photographers, would execute Amanda's dream wedding exactly as she had envisioned, creating the perfect celebration that would occur in her absence as comprehensive documentation of the financial authority and community respect that elderly wisdom commands when character assessment reveals moral failures and family loyalty destruction. The guest notification system that Margaret Chen coordinated informed all 2050 plus wedding invitees about the celebration, restructuring, and the character assessment outcomes that determined family participation eligibility. The guests would attend Amanda's planned celebration and enjoy the premium coordination and luxury services that she had selected, while learning about the foundation principles and elderly respect requirements that govern generational wealth transfer and family support systems throughout Orange County's philanthropic community and business network. The Ritz-Carlton Laguna Niguel wedding celebration that occurred on April 20, 2024, provided 250 plus guests with exactly the sophisticated coordination and luxury experience that Amanda had envisioned, complete with premium catering, extensive floral arrangements, professional photography, and entertainment coordination that demonstrated the foundation's community commitment and charitable mission, while educating attendees about respect, character, and the values that determine family financial support and inheritance eligibility across generations of community development and cultural continuity. The community impact that resulted from Amanda's character assessment and foundation consequence implementation created lasting education about elderly respect and family loyalty throughout Orange County's business networks and social community. The wedding celebration that occurred without the bride became legendary documentation of the consequences that follow when character failures and elderly dismissal threaten family financial security and inheritance eligibility, while demonstrating the foundation principles and community values that govern generational wealth transfer and philanthropic coordination. The character rehabilitation program that I offered Amanda as an alternative to permanent foundation, exclusion, and inheritance elimination provided her with opportunities to learn about respect, family loyalty, and the community values that sustained long-term financial security and family relationships through demonstrated character rather than assumed entitlement or convenient assumptions about elderly obligation and inheritance planning. The rehabilitation requirements included comprehensive community service with elderly populations, family relationship counseling, and financial literacy education that could rebuild her understanding of character and values worthy of foundation support and inheritance consideration. But perhaps the most significant consequence was the inheritance restructuring that redirected Amanda's expected financial legacy to charitable organizations that support elderly care, family counseling, and character development programs throughout Orange County, ensuring that her previous inheritance entitlement contributes to community welfare, while teaching her that true prosperity requires demonstration of values and family loyalty, rather than simply assuming entitlement to generational wealth based on blood relationship or professional achievement alone. The story of how a cruel granddaughter learned that dismissing elderly family members during wedding planning could cost her entire financial security and inheritance eligibility became the most expensive lesson about respect and family loyalty that any ungrateful relative had ever received. Sometimes the most powerful education you can provide manipulative family members is comprehensive understanding that elderly wisdom and financial authority aren't optional conveniences that disappear when they become inconvenient for personal schedules and lifestyle priorities. Amanda's assumption that she could dismiss me as an embarrassing elderly relative during wedding planning transformed into the devastating recognition that she was the one whose entire lifestyle depended on financial systems she had never suspected. The grandmother she excluded from her wedding celebration turned out to control not just her lifestyle and career advancement, but her entire economic future, teaching her that respect for aging family members isn't just moral obligation, it's practical necessity for anyone who wants to maintain financial security and inheritance eligibility in families where character determines prosperity and elderly wisdom guides generational wealth management. Wedding planning that Amanda assumed represented her professional success and social positioning actually became the character assessment that revealed her moral bankruptcy and justified comprehensive financial consequences that transformed comfortable assumptions about inheritance entitlement into harsh education about respect, loyalty, and family obligation during celebration planning that tests authentic caring versus convenient assumptions when elderly relatives deserve honor and inclusion, rather than dismissal and exclusion. In the months that followed, Amanda's attempts to rebuild family relationships and demonstrate character development that might qualify her for limited foundation benefits provided ongoing education about the difference between convenient performance and authentic character change that honors elderly wisdom while building family loyalty, worthy financial stewardship and inheritance consideration based on demonstrated values, rather than desperate attempts to regain financial support after consequences, reveal the importance of family relationships and elderly respect. The financial independence that Amanda experienced after foundation benefit elimination provided comprehensive education about the actual cost of Newport Beach lifestyle maintenance, professional wardrobe coordination, and luxury service access that she had been taking for granted while assuming her comfort reflected personal professional success rather than systematic family support that required character demonstration and elderly respect that honored the wisdom and sacrifice that built generational wealth through decades of careful planning and resource management. Remember, family financial security and inheritance eligibility built on genuine character and intergenerational respect, create foundations for lasting prosperity and authentic achievement, while elderly neglect and wedding exclusion destroy not only family bonds but also the moral foundation necessary for sustainable financial relationships and generational wealth transfer that honors wisdom and experience alongside innovation and individual advancement that serves collective family welfare and community prosperity across generations. The lesson that Amanda learned at the Island Hotel that March morning would echo through her remaining years. Respect for elderly family members during wedding planning isn't just about compassion, it's about recognizing that the people who seem most modest often possess the authority to determine your entire financial future, and that true financial security comes from character worthy of elderly approval rather than assumptions about inheritance entitlement that disappear when celebration planning reveals authentic priorities and moral foundation that determines whether you deserve continued family support or comprehensive financial dependence that teaches harsh lessons about respect, loyalty, and the reality that generational wealth requires generational character worthy of the wisdom and sacrifice that built family prosperity through decades of careful planning and elderly guidance that young people dismiss at their own devastating financial peril. Up next, you've got two more standout stories right on your screen. If this one hit the mark, you won't want to pass these up, just click and check them out. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any upload from us.